As far as my relationship with the magazine over the years, it's been this weird chronicler of my life in a sense, and I would imagine if I look back at it, it would pick things out. Say, I remember that. I remember that. It's odd. Not everybody has that library of their life at their disposal, but people have provided one for me, and I appreciate it. I just love that they let me play with the guitars. I love guitars. Gibson and Fender. Yeah, I mean, it was also, like, I think if I looked at that now, I might say a little twee, like easy on the jumping, the trampolines with the guitar. You don't need to do that. But I was young and impetuous and stupid, and it was fun. So, but the venues got bigger. Like if I did an interview, I'd go at the beginning. I'd go and sit down in a diner with somebody and crack out a 50-minute interview and have a free cup of coffee, and move on. And then all of a sudden, I was doing trucks and cranes and boxes and giant arcs and trampolines and any kind of guitar I wanted to play. And I said, "Wow, I must be big." So that was it. Like that's big. I just remember like that was increasing velocity. I was on more and more all the time. It's a funny deal when you're that famous, and it's beyond just being on the cover of magazines. It's like you go to a restaurant, and like they pull the best table out of their butts. You don't know where they got it from, but all of a sudden they have a table for you wherever you want it. It's really insane. There's an expression that I referred to when they gave me an honorary Academy Award. Somebody said to me the day before, said they were talking about getting this award and being famous, and they say you were 80s famous. I thought, wow, that's cool, 80s famous. Right, we were tougher. We didn't have social media. We didn't have any of that crap. We were just famous, left to our own resources, and it was an amazing time. It was really a tumultuous time because I finished the show. I was doing now the second Back to the Future, and people don't often mention it, but I did the same thing with that. I did the show and the movie at the same time. Again, only now I was married and with a wife who was pregnant, and shortly thereafter my father passed away during making that film. And then shortly after that I had diagnosed. So this was the beginning of a whirlwind. Not necessarily related to the fact that it was the last show, or the last season, but this was a change in my life, turn in my life. It was really emotional and really big. I mean, we sensed that it not only was a big thing for us, but it was a big thing for the people that followed the show, which was a lot of people, and it was a change in their lives too. And they had to do the show was really amazing because people related to it in a way that it was their lives. People still say to me, "Thank you for my childhood." I don't know how to take that. I don't know how to. You're welcome. As long as your childhood was good, I'm happy to take credit for it. If it sucked, I'd just see somebody else. But it's really nice that people. It meant so much to them, and so that I knew that in doing this, leaving the show, we were leaving them in a way to fill in the blanks. So it was really a time of gratitude. I remember this so vividly. This was kind of an end of the Back to the Future era. I was doing 2 and 3. It's actually 3. It was an amazing time, and all this stuff has two faces. It has a public face and a People Magazine face, and then as I said, it's a snapshot of my life at that moment. And this was a really interesting moment. This was really tough. This was really hard because I didn't want to. I didn't want to put it out there, but the nature of Parkinson's is it was going to become evident sooner or later. And I'll be sitting here 25 years from now, having this conversation and being relatively coherent and bouncing off the walls. It was an amazing time because the response was great. The response was loving and supportive, and I really couldn't have been. It was a payoff for all the stuff I'd done through the years, and people said, "You do too much press." And I said, "Well, people want to know what I'm doing," and so it always was really basic to me. It was always people. It was a small p, humans. That I did this stuff for. I didn't do it for me. I didn't do it. It was never calculated. I was never calculated. I just kind of had a film to promote. I promoted it, and I tried to always keep on a level of just talking to people that I knew, that were friends of mine, supporting me and watching the films that I made, and so when tough times came, they were there for me. I say this about kindness. My parents were very kind people, and very nice people, and never met a stranger or do anything for you. So I carried that with me my whole life, and it's important to be kind to people and to understand. You know, my father was really like, he teaches lessons like if I judge somebody, I'd say that person. You see, you don't know what that person's life is like. You don't know what how hard it is for them or how different. And I had two lessons. That one was like that initial lesson, don't judge people and give them space to be themselves. And it was, well, what a cool dad I had. He didn't have much, and he was worried about making sure everybody else had what they needed, and that was really cool. So that's that. My legacy is I know he was pretty funny. I remember that I was pretty funny, and I cared, and I wanted it to be good, and all the other stuff just fell in, all the important stuff. I didn't have important stuff in mind when I came down. I just wanted to have a giggle, and I giggled a lot.